What's up, guys? Welcome back to Herbology 101. I'm Jared Burns. This here, that's soapwort. And today we're going to be diving into this. As always, my goal here with Herbology 101, take y'all through the Pacific Northwest, teach you what plants we can use, what plants we can eat, what plants are dangerous, the natives, the invasives, all that good stuff. And then I try to throw up a video for you on YouTube once or twice a week. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video for today. This soapwort's pretty awesome because with just this and water, you can clean all your fabrics, your dishes, yourself, etc. But anyway, let's jump into it. All right, guys, here is Saponaria officinalis, aka soapwort. And this plant may look like your garden variety wildflower, but it has been humanity's natural bar of soap since before bars of soap were even a thing. And no, it's not called soapwort because it was the original brand name for some medieval shampoo commercial. Although really, could you imagine the ad? For when you really need to wash that dragon-slaying crime away, try soapwort because you're worth it. Soapwort's history dates back to the ancient times. The Romans, who were basically the influencers of the ancient world, they loved it. They discovered that when you crush the leaves and roots of soapwort and mix it with water, you get a frothy, soapy solution that's perfect for washing clothes, skin, and even hair. That's right, folks. The Romans had clean togas thanks to this little plant. It's almost like soapwort was the world's first all-natural, eco-friendly laundry detergent. Minus the mountain fresh scent. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and soapwort was still the MVP of medieval laundry. Monks and monasteries used it to clean their habits, talk about holy washing. And it wasn't just the monks. Textile workers in Europe also relied on soapwort to wash and full wool, giving fabric that nice soft finish. Now, don't go in thinking this was a gentle spa-like experience. Medieval washing was more like a scrub till your hands bleed than a relaxing bubble bath. Now, of course, these days we've got washing machines, dryers, and a million different detergents to choose from. But if you're ever in a pinch, you can still use soapwort for a little old-fashioned cleaning magic. Who knew laundry day could be so historic? And let's not forget, soapwort isn't just about keeping your clothes clean. It's also been used in skincare, it's been used in herbal medicine, and even as a natural pesticide. Just think of it as like a Swiss Army knife of the plant world. Useful for almost everything, but not everything. And you wouldn't want to wash your dishes with it, or at least I wouldn't recommend washing your dishes with it. Soapwort does work wonders on fabric, but your greasy frying pan probably needs something a little stronger. Just saying, if you can get that animal fat lye soap, that's really what's going to do you good. So the next time that you're out in the garden and you spot a soapwort plant, give it a nod of respect, because this unassuming little flower has been keeping humans clean for millennia. Long before anyone even heard the phrase lather, rinse, repeat. So, to soapwort, the plant that put clean in clean history, yeah, it's a pretty great one. We're going to go ahead and jump into some identification and harvest of the plant, and then we're going to go into how to actually make the soap, and I'll demonstrate how to do that. Here's a brief update on that mullein plant I did a video on. As you can see, it's getting pretty tall, and it started its yellow flowers here. They're actually quite beautiful little flowers. Jumping straight into identification on these suckers. If you look at these old ones, you can see where the flower cluster used to grow, and now it's just a bunch of old dried up little, what would you call those, seed-shaped pods? Here's the actual flowers. They're quite beautiful. They do have a bit of a pinkish tint sometimes, but they're mostly white. They grow in these long clusters at the end of these long stems. Now, if you look, you'll have 2 leaves, and then 90 degrees again, and 2 more leaves. And that pattern will repeat all the way down. The leaves are very smooth. There's no hairs on them. And the stems are always red. So it's pretty easy to identify these guys. Now, if you may be thinking to yourself, Jared, this is all good and dandy, I can identify it. How in the hell do I make soap? Well, what you want to do is you want to find the young leaves, like so, and pick them off. Pick off about, I say, get about a good 2 or 3 cups of leaves. Here we go. Here's a really good one. This is still super young. I like to use the young leaves the most. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and break that whole stem off to use. And then, ew, there's a really good one back in here. But I don't wanna walk through all that shit, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick these. And as you can see, it doesn't take very long, and you've got enough. Now, once you get a couple cups, you're gonna take this, get a vessel to boil it in. You're gonna boil the water up, and then after you get done boiling it, we're gonna strain it off with something clean like a cheesecloth. All right, guys, let's jump in how to make this soap. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this water up to a boil. I usually use a cup, 2 cups. This is about 2 cups. It's not super important to measure. You're gonna take about 2 cups or a cup and a half of this chopped up leaves from the soapwort. Go ahead and pour them in there. And just get them all the way mixed up. I don't recommend using a plastic cup unless you're a hillbilly like me. We're gonna go ahead and cover that up and then turn it down, let it simmer for about 15 minutes. We'll come back and strain that off and we'll have ourselves some usable soap. Alrighty guys, so it's been 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and open this guy up. As you can see, the color of the leaves has changed a bit. It's a lot kind of richer green now. At this point, you'll really want to strain it out with some cheesecloth. I, however, don't have any cheesecloth with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pour it all out. And then I'm going to pick out the leaves and the larger particles. I don't actually intend on using this soap. If you intend on using it, then you're definitely going to want to use a cheesecloth to filter it. Now basically we're going to wait for this to cool. And then once it's cool, we'll be able to use this as a liquid soap.